Welcome to the Liquid Dinosaur Show. Today, as you can tell, we have a very special guest. We're doing an in-studio recording. Unfortunately, today on our adventure, we are dockless. Nothing happened to him. He's just going through some stuff, personal matter. Nothing crazy. He'll be back soon. So I decided I'd rope the wife into it. And today we're gonna do more of a relationship style podcast about the automotive industry. So, thank you for joining us on our adventure. This is my wife, Jade. We're just going to call her wife or babe. It all depends on how I feel. Introduce yourself to the people.
Well, I'm Jade. I'm clearly Brandon's...
It's Ewok.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I'm Jade. I'm clearly Ewok's partner, wife, babe, spouse.
I call her something else. I try to call her by what I call her.
Whatever you want to label it.
But she's like, no, I want to keep it private. Boundaries, apparently.
You know, those cheesy pet nicknames that we all have, I guess, right?
Right. Well, it's not like it really matters. Doc already called me Brandon.
I guess it's not like Little Caesar, right?
Fat nutrition reference.
Yeah, okay.
Well, where do you want to start with this?
I don't know. We could talk about, I guess, what it's like being married to a mechanic.
Well, that's all you.
Okay. Where do I begin?
Actually, hold on. Let's backtrack here a little bit. So, believe it or not, Jade and I have been together for 12 years. We started dating in 2013. We got married in 2017. We were engaged for majority of that 4 years. I just wasn't in a rush to get married. Anything to add to that?
Marriage is not something to rush into, I guess. I don't know. I'm glad we took our time.
Right.
So, it just made for a beautiful wedding in the end, so.
For that, and she got me on the date. That's pretty much what it was.
We'll keep that private, though.
Nah. See? Relationship issues.
Sorry, I just don't need everything over the internet, but.
Fair. But so, our journey begins when I was working at a family fun center because I was bored, working on go-karts and running a go-kart track at a family fun center in Utah. And we met over a car. Believe it or not. So right off the bat, we're into the automotive industry. Kind of how we met. Her brother was in love with Subarus. That's kind of what I was into at the time. And we met because of a Subaru. WRX.
Should I mention that?
No.
Okay. I'll leave that out.
Yeah, unless it...
What? No, that might sound...
Nah, I'm going for it. So, she was actually supposed to be on a date with another guy when she met me.
Supposedly, but then this other guy picked up another girlfriend, to tag along on this so-called date, and so it turned into a group date, but I was with my brother and, like, this other girl and this guy I thought I was supposed to be on a date with, so whatever that turned into was not working for me, so...
It's fine. She left with an Ewok.
I met my husband over it, so... I don't know. Come at me how you want, but... It's just what happened.
And that was 2012?
Yeah. I think, like, July of 2012.
Yeah, you made me wait until senior year. First, you gave me a time of day. Can you believe that crap?
I did. It was around April of 2013.
Messed up, yo.
I just didn't...
I threw everything I could at her, too. I was like, hey, I got a fun car. I have access to other fun stuff. I have a bullet bike. A little crotch rocking. She was like, nah.
I didn't want anything to do with that bullet bike, and you pretty much picked me up on it, and you're like, this is how we're leaving. And kind of just didn't have a choice. Yeah, either to go or to stay, and so I chose to go with you.
It's not like I was that reckless with it. I did all the reckless stuff without you. I was a gentleman.
Yeah. It was still scary, and then, my dad, that was a whole nother, how dads and daughters and bullet bikes, it's one of those stories. So
Yeah, we remember a car. It's kind of how it got us into this relationship. Why?
I wasn't one of those girls that was like seeking you out because of your car. It wasn't like that. It just was.
You're right. You're just one of those girls like, nah, I don't want nothing to do with it. No denying it.
Okay.
It's still no denying. Still love you.
You too.
12 years of this.
12? Almost 12.
I'm calling it 12.
Okay, we'll call it 12.
Close enough. I mean, we're into March and that was May.
Mm-hmm.
2 months off. Yeah, we're calling it. We're over the 10. How about that? We're getting close to 10 on marriage, too.
We are.
Feeling old.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw pictures of us going through all this phone swap and everything.
Mm-hmm.
You don't look like you've aged at all. You look like you've aged like wine. I look like I've aged like milk. I used to be so scrawny, now I look fat.
It's because you've got the dad bod.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely got the dad bod for sure going.
Oh my gosh. I did see that picture we showed to the boys and that's not mom.
No, yeah, that's your mom.
That was me. I used to have like really blonde hair before I had kids, and then after kids I just let it pretty much grow out to my natural color. But yeah. Being a blonde was fun.
Which is surprisingly,
What you do?
I've never been into blondes.
Yeah, you weren't. No, you really liked the darker. And that's how we met. Surprisingly enough, is I like had jet black hair.
Loved it.
I went through one of those classic.
I must be emo.
Punk, the classic punk phase. My senior year, not junior high. I was a late punker.
Oh, late punker.
It was good times though.
Yeah, well, we met. Like I said, we met over a car. Then once you finally decided to cave into me, well, we ended up just jumping right into probably one of the more bigger builds that I was doing.
Which one?
Dot.
Oh, I was thinking one of the other Subarus.
Nah. This is Dot.
If you hear random names throughout, it's referring to our vehicle names.
Yeah, so
We
Dot.
named them. So.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if you can say we name them. I mean, Dot kind of earned hers.
Yeah, but I mean, you had Vanessa and
Lucy, Roxy, Alice,
Amber, and
like another handful of names.
you.
That's kind of long in the past.
Right.
Well, we still have Mila. We still have Raven. Still have Dot. We have Debbie. The X one don't get a name.
The next one doesn't get a name.
Jeep is just Jeep.
Yep. I thought we named the Jeep Rhonda. Nope, that was the other car.
That was a service truck.
Yeah.
Big Rhonda.
Big Rhonda.
They get 3,500 piece of crap Dodge that they gave me.
That's okay.
Well,
Anyway.
the truck's fault. It's just there's too much hacking up and robbing parts to fit another truck. That was a different job though.
Okay, well. Do you wanna...
Well, like, so, kind of what the whole point I was trying to get at with at least this round of podcast was, well, what it's like to be in a relationship with a mechanic, especially one that's had quite the resume that I have.
Well.
Because, the whole myth of, the late nights in the garage and everything, that kind of was a thing for...
It wasn't a myth.
A year and a half.
Yeah.
Well, you always hear it, but this is our actual true life story about, a year and a half of the build of Dot and what it did to our relationship.
Well, I guess if we're just going off of Dot, I mean, it was...
I mean, have we really had any easy vehicle in our life that hasn't caused some form of strife with us?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, it just depends on how you want to look at it, but I think that's just comes with the territory of like you're a builder and you want to do XYZ to the vehicle to make it bigger and better, and
Yeah, we call that ADHD.
you know your way around the parts, and you know way around your brand, and you know what brands work and what doesn't, and you know your way around like
But that's
this, that, and the other, I guess, to say that.
But that comes from a lifetime of being around and in the industry. So, to give you guys an example of what Dot is a 2005 Ram 2500. It is a 5.9 Cummins that was completely built when I bought it. But I bought it with a blown up motor from my brother. It was his build. If I remember right, and I'll get the actual details, it was its third engine. That was track only. It was supposed to be a low compression, high horsepower build. And injector number 6 stuck open and just said sayonara. So I bought a blown up motor, and then it took us a year and a half to actually rebuild it just because I was working a full-time job. I was working at a foundry, which foundry hours kind of sucked, but 5 a.m. 3 p.m., if I remember right.
Yeah.
And that was already stressful enough because that job.
That was a rough job. Like physically rough because of it being around like temperatures.
Yeah, nothing like going out to 90-degree temperature and be like, oh, this feels so amazing. Then we moved to Arizona because we used to live in Utah. That's where we were born and that's where we met. And now we're here in Arizona.
The I forgot what I was gonna say.
Anyway, so I grew up around this industry. I grew up around my biological father was a truck driver. My brother's dad, because we have different dads. I had 4 children. Me and my sister, the only one, have the same dad. My oldest brother has a different dad. My second brother has a different dad from him. And then we all have different dads except me and my sister. So, but my biological father was a truck driver. My cousin is a heavy haul truck driver. My brother now is a truck driver. He has been for the last 5 years, 6 years.
Yeah, I think ever since I was a baby.
Yeah, so 7 years.
Yeah,
long time. But he was always hauling trailers, going to the dunes, building stuff. That's how I kind of got into it. Kind of overshadowing him. Then just a childhood of just being around trucks. And believe it or not, I tried to get into Subaru stuff to stay away from trucks. That didn't work. Because now we're full-blown diesel and we just love trucks. And about 3 years ago, we decided to start our own mobile mechanic business here in Arizona. We specialize in dump trucks, which is what my brother and his dad do, is drive dump truck, but his dad's always drove trucks since I can remember. I always wanted bolt bikes too, but that kind of came from him because his dad, so my older brother, my second, I'm not gonna really say his name, unless I'll probably ask him and see if I can. Maybe I just dox him just because it's fun. Nah, I'll talk to him about it first. Be polite, I guess. But so yeah, his dad always rode Harleys, and even though for a while my brother had a custom chopper, then his wife had a R6 Raven, and I loved that bike. I always thought that bike was sweet, and I always wanted one. It's actually because of my brother's how I got my first bullet bike. He ended up trading one of his trailers for, what year was Roxy? 2007? 6?
She would have him in the 7 or 8.
No, because Alice was an 8.
And then it was the 7.
So yeah, it was 2007 R6S. It was red and black, named it Roxy. But he got it because he got the bike and a couple $1,000 trade for a trailer. So I bought it off him. He didn't care, he just wanted the money. I probably would have done the same thing. But as you can tell, a lot of what I do and like what I've been around is mainly revolved around him. Even the performance stuff came from him because he ended up. So when I bought Dot, he used to call it Dodgy, but I named it Dot because it stands for Dodge's Oops transmission because it's a 48 RE. Any of the Dodge guys out there understand my pain. And I'll get the number from him too, but if I remember 100%, between me and him, it's gone through 13 transmissions in its lifetime. name, hence name Dodge Loop's transmission, but you're also talking about thousand plus horsepower truck. It's always been big twin. This truck was built. So it was purchased in 05. He was the original owner, so I'm the second owner of the truck. It was purchased in 05. Was painted in I think June of 05, was painted in October of 05, and it had its first twins in November. And then, this was for, 05, and this is kind of when performance started kicking off and getting to where it was getting to. So he started messing with it, getting more horsepower, because he actually had I think it was a 2000 F250, was a 7.3. It ran good. I may make fun of Ford and everything, but that truck was pretty solid, and it got us home from the dunes from a couple iffy situations. The blown transmission still got us home. Good times like that. It just took a lot of money to get decent power out of it. So he ended up selling it, going to a Dodge to get power, but then he found out that, well, transmissions suck. It just, by the time, I think January of 2006, it started really having like head gasket issues with firings and studs and everything. It just kind of ended up being one of those things, well, if the motor's already apart, I'm already in here, let's do X, Y, and Z. And turned into, by 2007, full-on race truck. Then he just raced it. Didn't really daily it, if I remember right, because he had another third gen. I think it was a 2007 and a half, because it was a 5.9. But he did twins, injectors, all sorts of stuff to that one. And it had a G56 transmission in it, which I think he went through one of them. You're kind of irrelevant. But to kind of give you guys an example of like what I grew up around and why I got into the stuff that I did. Then, 2013, got with her, brought her into this world, and she never thought she would ever be involved in the automotive world like she is now.
Well, initially, I think there was a part of me that wanted that initially, I think there was a part of me, sorry, I'm stuttering my words. I think there was a part of me that wanted to be a part of this racing, like, high energy world. I did not grow up with it. I mean, my dad and my brother were like slightly into cars. To, what Brandon or Ewok grew up with, but
You might as well just calling me by my name.
okay.
Sorry, too late. Sorry guys, we're filming on our couch. And it's a pretty comfy couch and likes to eat you, so I'm trying hard to keep comfy and keep without moving too much.
Anyway, so I mean, I didn't grow up with automotive. I did not grow up knowing my way around a vehicle or anything like that. I mean, if anything, when I was younger, I was, the girl that was around the horses and everything. But unfortunately, that was just kind of, part of my childhood, and that was not much after I was a teenager or anything. But there was a part of me that did want to be in this like high adrenaline, high energy world, whether that be like bullet bikes, racing. I loved that. Even, I don't know if it sounds weird, but like even watching people participate in that and like watching on the sidelines, like the races, or like watching stunts or something like that, like, oh my gosh, I just wanted to be a part of that. And though I'm not a part of it, I get to have more hands-on with it, which I think is really cool. If that was not a weird way to explain it, but it's just different being in this world. And I initially never thought I would have been a part of it. It was just something I wanted to do. Never thought I would have married somebody that was into mechanics. I mean, not knowing that I, didn't know who I was going to marry per se, but
you also didn't think you're going to be married to someone who was short.
Yeah, I never thought I'd marry a guy shorter than me. And I also can say that I did not think I was going to marry a guy with blonde hair and blue eyes. I always liked
And you
the
did.
tall, dark, and handsome, but that's okay.
Well, I'm short, stubby, and handsome, so ha, still friend you.
So,
But because he said that, kind of reminded me where I was going out with my story.
okay.
So back to Dot. So I purchased a truck because my brother's getting into drag racing. He wanted to get into bracket racing, doing the at the time in Utah it's called Rocky Mountain Raceway, doing the NHRA kind of style racing. So that's why I purchased a truck so he can go on with that during. And as far as I understand, he hasn't touched the dragster in a couple years, just because RMR shut down, and he doesn't really want to drive to Vegas or I think he said Idaho.
I don't know the other one.
I don't
I just know Vegas, and then there's one here.
Oh. Yeah, but he's never
in
been down here
in the
to
Phoenix
race.
area, so.
So, but he got back in the Banshee scene, and that's kind of what he's doing now. Doing good for him. So, and I'm full on diesel. And I'm kind of get more into now. The backstory. When you want to go more into your backstory, that's kind of just it.
There's always like plenty of details to share about somebody's backstory, but I think in a nutshell, it's probably not.
Well, and if you guys really want to see more of this, or like kind of ask questions, comment, like, subscribe, even share. We wanted to do this one since Doc's kind of absent right now, to kind of share kind of like our story and kind of like what it's like to really be in this, especially my side of it. I think the hardest thing that we had to go through was the couple of the builds, a couple of the projects that I brought in. And then kind of seeing, especially when we started the mobile mechanic business, not only did we do that, not even 6 months later, and she was working up to it anyway. So you see our sponsor, Desert Hooligan, apparel and everything. Here you go. That's her. Which, that's actually kind of funny too, because that's something you never thought you'd do either.
No, it isn't actually. I mean, I guess if we're sharing a little bit of backstory, I never thought I would be into fashion. I mean, I love fashion. I mean, I'm not the most fashionably dressed right now, obviously, but
Neither am I.
I love fashion. I mean, that was one of the things that like my mom passed down to me, I guess essentially. Um, but I never thought I'd be a fashion designer. I'd appreciate it, and I'd pay attention to it and everything like that. But what I was really interested in initially was art, and then it developed into interior design.
Which is something that also got passed down by your mom.
Yes. So I have a family of artists. My grandpa was an artist, and my dad he was of an artist of his own. He is a really good woodworker.
Would you be comfortable with posting any of those drawings online?
Yeah, good. Yeah.
We'll post
There's
probably not on this video, but on our Instagram page.
They're not originals. They're copies and everything, but
they were drawn by your dad and your grandpa, right?
My grandpa, and then some were like the color was added by my grandma, like the pencil colors.
Okay, well.
But
I don't know. You want to put it on this video, or you want to put it on Instagram, or both? To be determined.
We'll figure that out.
Somewhere like right here, maybe right here. I'll put it up here.
But yeah, my grandpa was he dabbled with a little bit of photography, back in like the I want to say 50s, 50s and 60s, and then he loved his charcoal, his pencil sketches and everything. He would do a lot of nature, a lot of like squirrels, chipmunks, deer, things like that, trees, anything nature, he would sketch. And that became like a part of his legacy. And my dad came from a very big family. So I'm a very family oriented person. My dad, does his own designs in his own way, because he makes anything and everything that you can out of wood. He's a major upcycler, which is where I get my love from upcycling, my junk hunting. That comes from my dad. And so a lot of that kind of meshed together with my love for interior design and later is incorporated and, you know, is meshed together with my love of fashion now. But I did go to school for interior design. So I have my associate's degree in applied science, and it covered interior design. And then later down the road, I was studying for sustainable design, getting my bachelor's degree in that area. And along the lines of sustainable design, it touched base on like prehistoric like preservation and like things like that, and getting to know like the buildings around you, and studying the material that was like built with that time. And I did study a little bit of architecture and a little bit of business and marketing along the lines of all these courses and everything, and it was really fun and I loved it, and I pursued a career in it. And I worked in the field for not a long time, but a couple years. And then that was about the time that we were starting our family. And then it was just kind of time for me to be mom. And I was just mom for, I can't say just mom, but I was mom for a few years. And then I kind of needed an outlet for me. And, seeing all the things that my kids were surrounded by and all the options that were out there for kids and everything, and learning about, let's call it the industry of children. That sounds weird, but, clothing and toys and education, and that's what I mean. But
Here's the thoughts.
Nothing, yeah, anyway.
Okay, Wayfair.
Learning about
Wasn't it Wayfair? That issue going?
I don't want to. Anyway.
Okay.
But can we edit that part out though? And I'll just
I guess.
start again. Okay. Anyway, but learning about all the things that were available for kids, like as far as learning, toys, flashcards, and all the different types of things that were accessible for kids, like as far as fashion. I got really into that and learned a lot. Just initially being.
We're 30 minutes in, so you'll be fine. But kind of got to reel it back into automotive here.
But you said backstory, so.
Right.
Anyway, but getting to know like what was available for our kids and what was, good options as far as like learning and fashion and everything. And I got really into that, and I initially started Desert Hooligan making pacifier clips with like the little silicone beads, because those were really popular. They're still popular now, but I've moved on with other designs. And anyway, so I started with pacifier clips, and then that's when we invested in the Cricut and started doing kind of like the t-shirt, kind of jumped on that bandwagon and everything, and that kind of just developed into what it is today. So, and there's a whole nother spill behind Desert as well, but in a nutshell, I guess that's it. So
We talk about a lot more than like in another video. I mean, if you guys like this kind of content, then yeah.
if it's not too boring, I hope my voice isn't monotone. I don't know. I'm not oriented.
We're also very new to this.
Yeah.
Very new.
So don't judge us.
And since we're on the topic, I never thought YouTube would ever been a thing. YouTube or Spotify, even Patreon.
Yeah, I was not even one for like social media myself. So.
And now because of Desert, you're kind of on it every day.
Yeah. Which is bittersweet. So.
But with your backstory and everything, what are some things that you've heard of? So I guess about the automotive industry that you would like to tell your side, like correct any myths, any false allegations, or anything like that. I mean, first of all, I guess the $1 million question is it easy being with a mechanic? Especially one that is mobile now.
But let me just answer it this way, if this answers the question. It was not always easy, and no, it's still not easy, but going into dating somebody that is so on the go, who is a night owl, and is so car oriented, first off, for me, that was it was a foreign language. Cars, I mean, even still to this day, and I hate to admit this, cars are not a language that I understand if we put it in that,
You're getting better though.
way of saying that. I don't get cars very well. I mean, I've come around to it, but that's been 12 years and everything. It's just sometimes it's hard for me to kind of wrap my brain around it for some reason, but I'm just not immersed into it as much as Brandon has been and grew up with it and everything. But initially jumping into the relationship with somebody, like I said, that is a night owl, that's constantly on the go and constantly, doing this, that, and the other, and just so immersed in his work, it was hard to, and it took a long time to get an understanding and kind of come his way initially. But like it just took a long time for me to kind of get into his world. And it wasn't up until really a few years ago that I did start, what can I help you with? Can I come out and, participate with you? And I can't speak for all the women or anybody at this matter. This is just me and Brandon's case, that he wants me to participate in it because this is something that he loves. I mean, it's like I love when he participates in like the typical going shopping. Guys don't like shopping. I get that. But I love it when he comes with me.
Shopping.
It's not his thing. It's not. But he does go and, do things with me that I know he doesn't like. It means a lot, and so it's learning to kind of lean his way and he'll lean my way. And that's kind of where we have finally come to be, essentially. I hated the late nights. I hated, that sometimes he'd be so immersed in his work that I wouldn't hear from him. I wouldn't, get a text from him, a call from him, and it was infuriating. It really was infuriating, and it caused a lot of issues and a lot of fights. And, but like over the time of working on it and like working through it and stuff, and instead of just being bye, sayonara,
I mean, we were close a couple of times.
Yeah, we were close a couple times.
But I even came your way a lot too.
Right, well, I said that earlier, that we start to, even though it may have taken us a little longer, that again, we kind of leaned each other. Like, he leaned my way and I leaned his way, and we'd kind of just meet in the middle and
Kind of
everything.
like our projects, we just haven't given up on it.
Yeah, well,
And and like, kind of what started your whole outlet thing is when, I think it was 2019, is when whoever was in Glendale had that cricket machine on for a good halfway discount.
Yeah. Well, and you wanted me to start making you shirts for SI.
Well, this was before SI.
No, it wasn't.
Well, yeah, SI's been around for a long time.
Because
A lot longer than I thought, too. Because that's been the goal was always to open our own shop, and just kind of like the YouTube thing, we never thought we would have went mobile. It just kind of was a, what's the easiest way to explain it? It's kind of luck of the draw. crap situation.
However you want to look at it, I guess.
Um,
It's just what path came. It's just the path we ended up.
it was just a door that opened that we wanted to explore. And, I never thought that it would have just been me all this round. I thought I would have had a few employees by now, but, hey, things happen for a reason.
But you're also not. You're just barely like 3 years into it.
Right.
And usually they say it takes 2 to 3 years to be established. Right?
But also, not only does it take 3 years, but here in Arizona, it's really cutthroat. Even more so because it is an overstimulated market down here. Because of everything going on in California with all the emissions change, the rules, which I don't fully remember if they did change the rule about the 5 years or New Earth rule that they were talking about. But when California did that big old truck sale, a lot of people bought service trucks and went on their own. Just in my neighborhood, in my little HOA neighborhood, which yes, we do work out of our garage and we do mobile calls, but there's 4 or 5 mobile guys that I can think of off the top of my head, and I know there's more. I know there's my neighbor's a good example. He has a day job, and he does the side stuff.
Yeah, he just does it on the side, which, he does well with. He's very knowledgeable, and him and Brandon have been able to bounce things off of each other, and so I think he's definitely a good resource. And other mechanics, I feel, though our competition, I feel like are good resources to like definitely network with, but they are competition in a way, which there's just a lot of them. So
but there's been a good handful of them that have been super helpful. But unfortunately, with that same thing, there's like only one other mobile guy that like in my little circle of mobile people I talk to. There's only one guy that's still independent like me. Everybody else went and got other jobs, which is kind of where we're at. So, like I said, we started the mobile deal, and then literally, like right after that, we decided to start Desert, and that has not been easy. Neither one of them been easy.
No, and starting a business from ground up, it's a given. Like it's just not easy.
Especially with no backing. That's been the hardest thing, and we're learning. Yeah, we struggled. We struggled a lot, and we made it. I would say a damn good lots of terrible decisions. We're human. We're learning from it, and then
this is like one of those shot in the dark type situations.
And that's kind of what we're doing with the YouTube thing. Literally how that came about is I go on these little, it's the ADHD, pretty much what I call it. The squirrel in its squirrel cage just started spinning. And I go on these little rants like, hey, what about this and this and that? And then I was talking to an old client of mine and my aunt actually, and I said, hey, do you think my rants are funny enough to be on YouTube? That kind of just bounced the idea around, and then like we were gonna start this a lot sooner than what we did, but I just kind of let the fear kind of kick in because YouTube's also kind of same thing as the mobile thing, saturated. Can't speak, words are hard. But then graduated Cummins class of 2021. I've talked to Doc quite frequently after I graduated, and it just kind of he was talking to me one day, and he's like, I'm retired. I want to keep educating, and I really want to do it. And I just looked at him and said, well, I didn't look at him. I said, on the phone, I was like, hey, why don't we just do a podcast? Do like an auto diesel podcast, talk about the history, go into things that we love and kind of experiences we had. And it just kind of is what it is. He loves it, I love it, and now our goal is to be at home, giving content to you guys, talking about, stuff like the relationship, and then, hell, we got a buttload of I don't like the way I said that. I'll edit that out. Just a bunch of projects, and then we do have a Liquid Dinosaur merch line, thanks to her.
It's in the works. We have a few t-shirts and hoodies that we've designed just to kind of start out. I recently added like playing cards and a few other things that are currently print on demand, but I'm crossing my fingers as we go that things will get a little bit more detail oriented once we can find, like good.
And we are trying to do it in-house. That is the other thing.
Yes, in-house, but some stuff we will need to source out. So it's like, and we want to do it locally too, so.
So that's kind of where we're at with that. But yeah, we do. We have a couple special shirt designs coming. We do have one for Doc. We've had it for a while. It's just, we had a spelling error. Shit happens.
Happens, I don't know. It's just one of those things.
Well, that is a mixture between, kind of going back to the schedule thing. My schedule sucks. Being mobile and everything, there is no guarantee I'm working, and there really is no guarantee of like what time frame. I do a lot of overflow for Kenworth here in Arizona, and I do have a dump truck company. It's an umbrella company that has multiple companies in it that I do a lot of their work for. And with now it's rainy season, it's kind of just a gamble if their trucks go out and if I work. They do have their own mechanics, but they are short-handed, so they call me in when they need me. I do have one of the companies in the umbrella that I handle all the trucks for. There's only 8 of them, and they're all newer. They're all 21s or newer. He does have a 2015 and a 2007 Kenworth T800. But I think the plan is to, beginning of May, he's actually wanting to sell the 2007. And then I think, considering that one of the majority of the fleet is the PACCAR MX platform, I think I'm actually going to try to talk to him into selling one of the 21 simple 18s instead of the super. So he has one super left because it's a 2015, but it's an ISX 12 Cummins with a 10-speed manual. It's just I think they call it a ALP or APL 9. Just an Eaton Fuller 10 speeds, really all it is. But it's actual model number. But it's, between all 32 trucks, there is a lot of sister trucks, but nothing really has the same model number. They're all different models slightly. But anybody in trucking knows what an Eaton Fuller 10-speed is. That's what these dump trucks have. Like a lot of the older ones, like the 07 has an ISM in it. For a dump truck, it works. For a super, it works. Would I have gone with a bigger motor? Probably. But I'm not in trucking. I'm on the maintenance end of that. But the schedule-wise is a lot of times I go in, I get there, I leave here about noon, get there at 1, and I don't come home till 10.
Your schedule, I will say, has gotten better, and I hope it keeps improving. But for a really long time, it was like he'd wake up really early, like 6 or 7, depending.
Which is early for me,
and
considering I go to bed at 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yeah, and then sometimes he wouldn't get home until the next morning, like at 4, depending. Like, it wasn't a constant, 4 o'clock, but, sometimes, I'd go to bed, and then I'd, wake up in the middle of the night, and he, wasn't still home from work or something.
Oh, then, we have those occasional times when Kenworth will call me and say, hey, I got a down truck on the side of the road at 4 or 5 in the morning.
The schedule... yeah, the schedule was kind of hard to deal with, and thankfully, because he's, has a little bit more control, even though he has kind of on call. I feel like he's able to schedule things in better, and he's been able to just be more flexible, which I think is it's just better.
Which, for the sake of my marriage and my time with my kids, is why we're trying to start not doing mobile and doing more things here at home.
Yeah.
Yes, I've done semis here. Even being in HOA hates me. I meant they love me. Yeah. Because, what was it, 2 years ago, we did a partial rebuild on an M11.
Something like that.
That was pretty fun.
Well, the neat thing about it is it was it kind of just brought the neighborhood together.
Oh yeah, that was the funniest thing.
And it wasn't like the neighbors were mad. It was well, what are you doing, Again, our neighbor across the street, came over and, had a few helping hands here and there,
Right.
and and like the neighborhood kids were like, oh my gosh, this is so cool, like look at this, so.
And then we ended up having like barbecues, and we ended up just doing smoked meats like almost every weekend for like months on end, and like it got at the point where just everybody just started saying, "Hey, I'm having a barbecue. You guys did it last week. We're doing it this week." It's like, sweet. And it just kind of became an ongoing thing, and it was a very beautiful thing. Unfortunately, that just came to an end. Just
It's life.
life, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But so like with the whole rants and all that and everything, like my aunt, my old client, like a bunch of people, like, dude, do it. But then like even like I was a little hesitant on it at first, but seeing how many YouTubers there are, and I was just, it doesn't hurt to try. And the running joke, especially like, so like I went to Universal Technical Institute, I graduated auto diesel, and I already had experience prior to that. And then I did the Cummins course. I did Cummins genset and Cummins engines. That's how I met Doc. And then that's how I met Mr. Anonymous from our Kohler video. He was in my Cummins class, and he works for Kohler. That's why we did the Kohler video. As he's a mobile genset tech, and we bounce stuff off each other all the time, which is great. But then so like I go to Mesa a lot for the umbrella company, and a lot of those guys are always asking like, "Hey, have you YouTubed it?" So like one of the owners, he's always like, "Well, I looked on YouTube." I'm like, "Oh, great." So like knowing that there's so much stuff on YouTube and everything is like, you want to what? There's a lot of things that aren't. We talked about there's a bunch of projects. We have she mentioned it earlier. Mila is a 2011 BMW 335D. It's an E90 or an E91 for the BMW guys, depending on who you ask. One dealership told me it was an E90, one told me it was E91. I just went to an E90 because that's what all the parts I order off SCP Euro comes as an E90. But the plan is we're going to pull the motor, pull the trans. It was the first car I've ever had like the weirdest issue with. It just, we did a walnut blasting on the intake and the head for the valves. We did new turbos because the turbos were leaking, causing the oil to get into the DPF. We ended up replacing the DPF 3 times in that car. And all that other fun stuff. So, after we did a trans service, all the stuff with the head, the injectors, the turbos, and everything, because we found out the injectors were having cracking on returns. So we got all new ones, got them, actually got S&S diesel to do bigger tips on it. So they are what they call stage 2, which is just, in the diesel form, they are 90 horsepower injectors. But for a 3-liter, it's a pretty big upgrade, especially with having the turbos are stock size, but they are billet shafts, billet compressors, billet turbines, and then they have billet roller bearings in them. I believe is what they said. So the car has potential. We're gonna rebuild it all on the channel and we're gonna keep it separate. So we're gonna do an automotive Ewok channel, which is basically gonna be the projects. We have Mila, we have the X1, which the X1 is gonna be more. That's her daily driver. So it's going to be more on the lines of just, I got to rebuild the front diff. And BMW called and said that part was actually discontinued because I just tried to order a rebuild kit. They're trying to sell me a whole new diff, and I don't. If I'm going to do a whole new diff, I'm just going to go to like a Winters or like, if you guys have any recommendations too, please, by all means, comment it. I'm always down for recommendations. And then we have some fun stuff coming because there's a lot of things that you don't see on YouTube. So like, a lot of these guys do like triple turbo Cummins builds and everything, but sometimes they do, sometimes they don't show where the oil lines go. So we have the 05, which is Dot. We have an 0867, which we call Debbie. She named it. But due to kind of rushing the job and letting somebody that was inexperienced help me, and me just not trying to.
It wasn't.
No, it was another. It was one of my old coworkers that I was training. Just kind of. We're trying to quick do the job, trying to do an injector job, and didn't. We should have ran the valves right after doing the injector job, which you should do but I normally didn't because I usually run valves because of how hard I run my trucks. I usually do it once a month. So I was like, okay, I just did it. It's fine. It wasn't fine because it had a camshaft failure and blew up, which very expensive lesson to learn. But we're gonna do a triple turbo high horsepower build. We're gonna do on the channel. I'm gonna show where the oil lines go. I'm gonna show how we're gonna run it. There are a couple things we're gonna be doing differently just to see what happens. Because of all the instructors and everybody I met at Universal Technical Institute, we have been working on a fuel system that is the easiest way to explain it is basically it's to lower NOx emissions and lower combustion chamber temperature. We're focusing mainly on fuel to kind of help do that and get better exhaust pulsations, velocity, and etc. to get more power, get more efficiency. Is really what we're trying to focus on. And I couldn't have done it without having her on my side to pretty much be there to back it up and be supportive. And the amount of support I get out of her, I give it right back to with everything she has.
Yeah.
I've never told her, no, you can't do that. It's always been, you absolutely go for it.
Yeah, definitely the support, having support. And it's not just, mechanic and wife, it's, and not turning this into like a whole marriage spiel, but
kind of is.
You gotta have support and communication and everything. And that's taken us a long time to, figure out. I think it takes a long time for people to, figure that out in like partnerships and marriages and things like that. And that's just a part of like growing together. And that's probably common knowledge. Maybe not to everybody. I don't know. But I mean, it just takes time. It takes time to lean his way, like I've repeated 5,000 times, and for him to lean my way. And then like communication and support and everything. And then just remembering that you guys are like everybody's human, and give each other a little bit of grace and understanding, and understanding that you're also going to make mistakes and that you can come from the mistakes too. So
yeah, we've had a lot. We're
human. I don't know. We're not perfect. I'm not striving to be perfect, so.
Then yeah, so that was Mila's build. We have a Jeep. It's a 96 Grand Cherokee, which I have made comments about. I've talked about it before on our very first video, Shenanigans, which...
Yeah, once you get a service truck, I'd like to just turn that into a little off-road beater that we can take out.
The Jeep?
Yeah.
Well, the Jeep's getting Cummins swapped.
A little more fun to take off-road.
Yeah, it's going to be a high horsepower Cummins swap. I did find an engine. It's called a B4.5. It is a baby 6.7. Uses the same fuel, same CP3, same piston, same rods. All the performance guys can kind of see where I'm going with this. The downfall is a camshaft has to be made, and unfortunately so is the exhaust manifold, but nothing that a TIG welder and some metal can't fix. Well, we're going to show all that on the channel. That's the whole point of what we're trying to do. There's a lot of things that are kind of like just stuck in this squirrel brain of mine that I want to bring to life. Squirrel. Shiny. Butterfly. Yeah, you guys. All the performance guys and like even like your automotive mechanics and even your diesel guys can kind of get it, I think. And I'm just gonna throw it out here. If we can hit 1,000 subscribers, which is gonna take time, I'm well aware of that. We're probably going to do a giveaway. Some sort. It's not going to be anything elaborate or big, but we do have plans and already talks about that. Because like I said, we got the Jeep, we got Dot, which is going to be, it's going to be more like, I'm going to call it a retro mod build. Because everything that was done to it was done in 05, 07. So we're going to bring it to...
They're not called sleepers, are they?
No, Dot is no way close to a sleeper.
Not Dodge, I'm talking about the Jeep.
So with the Jeep, I do want to lift it and do a custom suspension, all that. Cause it's on a stock suspension, stock wheels. Now, like if we did a sleeper, then it would just leave it as it is and put a Cummins in it.
Just referring to Jeep, but
we have Mila, we have the X1, which is going to be more like maintenance-based things. And then we have a very unique opportunity, I would say. It is another BMW. It's an E36, the 95 M3, but it's a Euro spec engine. And that'd be a really fun build just to do because there's been so many um, upgrades, updates, and everything that can be done to that car.
I'm really eager to redo that interior.
Yeah,
That's another interest of mine is I feel like my designs and everything, I can collaborate with him, but do like the aesthetics or like the interior of the cars and stuff since I have a background in design as well. So I'm really eager to get my hands on some of these.
And then with what she just said and everything, and like with our relationship, our end goal is to do a custom dealership that we will have on YouTube. And
Goals.
Then, yeah, it's all goals. And hope you guys like this kind of content. Hope we didn't bore you too much.
I know I'm kind of awkward to probably listen to on camera. I feel a little awkward on camera because I'm not used to it. So
do I.
Sitting here fidgeting, it is what it is. I'm new to this, so.
And we are trying to work out the kinks to where everything is consistent. We've been dropping videos on Saturday and doing shorts throughout the week. It kind of works out, but if anybody has better suggestions, please let us know. Anything that we can do better, we are willing to do. Give us a little bit of time because we have no backing, and we're all doing this. We're doing this off of a phone, and yeah, we have these mics and everything, and this is the first time we're actually using them. The main time when me and Doc record is for some reason, and because we're using the Riverside app, it doesn't want to work with the mic, especially having headphones. So we've just been using Raycon headphones or the Status Q. I'll put the correction on the screen, but yeah, we're either using those kind of style headphones. This is the first time. Actually, yeah, we're doing an in-person kind of podcast style, but it's with the wife. So again, any suggestions, please let us know. Like, comment, subscribe, please. And just, don't feel free to share. We are on Instagram. We are on Spotify. We are trying to get Spotify viewers, but we're going to be mainly focusing on YouTube. Because, well, we're new to this. And we're just trying to figure this out.
And if you guys have made it this far into the video and stuck around, we appreciate it. And I welcome you to check out Desert Hooligan's Instagram page. We post on there a lot more than we do on Facebook. We don't have a YouTube channel. We've toyed with it, but I think we've got our plates plenty full right now.
You're looking at it. This is it.
So
it will be a Liquid Dinosaur show and being sponsored by Desert Hooligan in a way. Mm-hmm. They kind of going to support each other. She does have a couple really cool designs coming out for it. It's all on Printify, but we are working on an actual just storefront for it. More specialized. I'm going to get my own specialized shirt. Shirt has the automotive Ewok. I'm just coming up with excuses of why not to stop and go get a couple pictures. Let's be honest about it. Just once I get the work call, I just want to go to work and get home. I do have... So we have 2 boys. And we have a 7... going to be 7 and 5. Right now they're 6 and 4. They're both getting into video games with me because I've not on top of just being in the automotive industry. I've also been a gamer most of my life. Call of Duty, Halo, that kind of stuff. Right now he's really big into Gears of War. And Halo.
I just cracked myself up because...
But as things progress and everything, and once we start doing like some automotive Ewok channel stuff, you might get to see them. I don't know yet. It's kind of a weird...
I have mixed feelings about our kids.
Right.
I mean, I have mixed feelings about sharing personal information, obviously, on the internet, so...
Yeah, especially YouTube.
Y'all don't need to know our business.
But
Except for the industry.
But we're going to share it anyways. We're at 31 subscribers and everything, just kind of looking at analytics and everything. Like, just seeing the reach that we've already got to is just, like, insane. And, like, every subscriber, I absolutely am thrilled about, and I absolutely love it. I love the comments, even though we've had a couple iffy ones.
Some people, like, I just have the mindset, it's like, if you don't have anything nice to say, why say it on, like, why say it on the internet?
I'm the exact
You're
opposite.
freaking keyboard warriors, like, seriously.
I'm absolutely different. I was like, if you want to say something, cool. Just,
No,
if you want to dish it, be able to take it. That's kind of just how it is. Yes, I know my teeth are jacked up, and that's because of how many fist fights and how many fights I've gotten with pry bars. Sometimes dump trucks just don't want to cooperate. Sometimes they whoop my ass. It is what it is.
Come on, but we're cool people. I mean, just don't judge us on our appearances and everything.
Oh no, absolutely judge.
No, don't judge.
Judge, it's fine.
Be nice.
I don't care. Go for it. I make fun of myself. As long as we can joke back, I try to put all the sources that we get our information from. And what?
I just said yeah, credit everybody.
Yeah, try to get sources, everything. We try to be 100% factual. If there is something that we're not factual on, let us know. We'll correct it. The comments that we do have so far, we are going to be talking about it in Doc's and mine's next podcast, which is coming out. He is ready to start filming again. And let's give Doc some slack here. He is. Is it bad I don't fully remember how old he is?
He's leveled up plenty.
Yeah, he's leveled up plenty. He's 60s, maybe 70s, but I think he's 60s. But I'm also probably mistaking him with another instructor. That squirrel brain of mine.
He's wizard level.
He's wizard, yeah.
He's wizard level wise, so we'll leave it at that.
And, he's had a lot of experience, and, he is an educator for very long, and he's the one that gave me my certifications for Cummins. Which, knowing what we know about Cummins and its legacy, its history, makes my certs even more impressive, and, I love them even more, especially because it was given to them by Doc. But yeah, let's give him a little leeway, because he is also dealing with a lot of other crap, too. Just kind of with the personal stuff. I'm not going to get into that. If he wants to get into it in our next shenanigans video, we are going to take a break from Cummins. Because it's so much information. I mean, we got to 1936 and we got to go all the way up to 2025. And going off of the first Legacy video, I am going to have to cool it a little bit because I do get heated. The new 6.7 does infuriate me. And there's a couple decisions that I've seen that infuriates me. But to kind of finish up the project list, so we have the 95, the 2011, the 2005, 2008, the X1, and then there is another one that we might be able to do. I'm not going to really talk about it quite yet, because I'm not too sure, because it's too big of an iffy, and I don't know if it'd actually be good content. Okay, it would be good content, but to be straight up about it, it's gonna cause some drama between my family. It is what it is.
That's all I gotta say is.
But
I roll.
But as for me and Doc, we have an EPA video that we're working on. We have the EPA, the EV topic, which we are not fans of EV. Well, we give respect is due. But there's a certain part of the topic that we are going to hammer very heavily on. And I'm just going to leave it at that. That video is coming out. The EPA video. Then, if there's any other topics anybody wants us to go over, we're more than happy to research it and go into it. The shenanigans one is going to be really kind of cool. Because we're going to go into kind of a lot more of the myths of it. We do have March, was it 18th?
Yeah.
Is National Diesel Day because of Rudolph Diesel. So we're going to have, I don't know if we'll do a full episode, but it might just be a short episode.
Maybe that would be a good goal to have one of the shirts done by then, representing it.
So we'll do that, and then if there's anything else you guys can, like you said, you want us to go over, you want us to go further into, if you want us to do stuff more like this more often, we can. Even if you want to start seeing some of the Desert Hooligan end of it, we're more than happy to throw into it. Then questions, we're more than happy to answer. I'm pretty much an open book. Way too open than I should be, but it is what it is.
A little too open.
So fine.
I still love you, so.
Then, yeah. Anything else you want to add?
No. I think that's it. That's it for me.
Yeah, sorry for the rambling.
You'll get that a lot, so.
Yeah, especially out of me. And
just be warned.
Sorry if the audio is kind of iffy.
We're working on the audio.
Like I said,
This is only our, like, what? What number video is this?
We have the shenanigans one, the Ram video, 2 Kohler ones, Classy, and Legacy. So this is 7.
7. Okay.
But then we got
Number 7.
Then we got 8, 9, and 10 coming.
Yep.
Which we'll probably film this weekend.
Okay.
We're definitely gonna film 1.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
That'll be good.
Oh yeah, then like I just looked up and see that we're at an hour and 7, which it's not gonna be 100% hour and 7 because there's gonna be a lot of editing and all that other stuff. But like anything you guys think we should be doing differently, let us know. We're willing to change, try to adapt, get more subscribers, and
Just having fun with it.
pretty
Just
much.
want to be casual with it, be real and not have this like fakey script stuff.
And if there's anything else you guys would like to see us do, like we'll do another channel. We don't care. We're not. Yeah, the whole goal is to just be at home and just doing content and everything, but we want to do more fun stuff. I want to show more of the more fun side of my personality and more fun side of our relationship. Because it's been a lot of seriousness a lot recently.
We can be goofy.
And we just...
You gotta have goofiness in life.
Right.
Or it gets too boring.
And and just like being on Instagram, and there's so many things about like relationships, and it's just all in business too, and it drives me nuts.
It's almost like every other post or reel or whatever on Instagram is like, if you want to learn or if you want to know how to get like 1,000 subscribers in a week, click in the bio below. Like, you always get that, and it's like,
then it's gonna cost you $50. It's like,
really? What are you doing over here?
Or like, you have the relationship where it's like, we've been together for 4 years, and then you did this cheater app thing, and boom, 4 years was wasted. Like, what?
I don't know.
Or like girls sitting there just be screaming at guys and all this random stuff, and then like,
or sorry, not to cut you off, but some of the worst videos are the ones where they intentionally do dumb ass comment or
pranks,
dumbass content, like the cake ones. I don't know if you've ever seen these cake ones, and they build them up, and they're like, oh, just look at this beautiful cut, and it's this like ugly like piece of shit cake, and it's just like, look at this beautiful cake I made for my daughter's 8th birthday, and everybody like, they make it intentionally horrible so that they can get the comments and get the views. So it's like not even genuine good content. It's like,
and like I said, we're playing everything. We want to give good content, and we really want a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? Constructive criticism. I don't want to sit here and bash on other people's content because people do people. But from my perspective and like my opinion, there's just a lot of stuff that I see that drives me nuts, especially being in the automotive and diesel industry. There's so many just wrong things that people think about diesel that drives me nuts. Diesel's always been more efficient than gas, and the fuel sucks. The fuel is trash. It is.
we'll just stay in our lane.
Yeah, we'll stay in our lane.
We'll stay in our lane. We'll just.
So I don't want to
badmouth other people. That's not what we're here for.
We did go on that little rant, and I do apologize, but it gets the best of us.
Just stay in our lane.
And that's kind of why I wanted to do this video with my wife, since I don't think anybody just wants to listen to me talk for like 20, 30 minutes. Because I don't want to listen to myself talk for 20, 30 minutes. But that could be a pretty interesting rambling conversation. Never know. If you guys want to see that, though, let me know and just give me a couple topics to go off, and then we'll just make a rant video. It'll be a good time.
I was also going to comment, if you're not into diesel, then I would not recommend this channel for you. Because...
Hold on.
We're a diesel channel!
Diesel, girly. We're trying to
focus
that's
on
true.
diesel.
That's true. But if you're not interested in diesel or don't care for it, at least give it a shot to kind of learn more about it. I do believe that you should do your own research, and that's why we put our sources, and that's why we do.
Everybody has their own opinion on diesel. And
right.
we have ours, and we're gonna stick to ours. So,
And I just wanted to bring it kind of to light and be like, hey, here's what I know. This is what I was trained. This is what sources say. This is what the research says. And just take what we say and just kind of make your own opinion about it. At the end of the day, if you take all of our content and everything and be like, you want to what? Cummins is trash. Ram is trash. LSs are better. You do you. Will I argue that? Absolutely. But I'm not going to go into something completely trash. Yeah, I can make fun of Ford all day. I can make fun of Chevy. I can make fun of Dodge. I can make fun of all of them. And, you know, I like to look into it as give respect where respect's due. Yes, I do not like Teslas. I hate them. But with that being said, and kind of a little spoiler alert here, if it wasn't for Tesla, we wouldn't have the technologies that we have today. It kind of forced the other manufacturers to kind of step up and kind of start giving us better technology, better efficiency, and everything because now there is a competitor.
I do want to know a question. If there are any Tesla lovers watching by chance, I kind of want to hear their argument on. I mean, like you buy a Tesla, you think it's green, you know, you're saving the environment, and there's a fly in here.
There's a fly in our video.
The audacity. Just kidding. And it doesn't have to be an argument. I just like, and I never had this conversation with another Tesla owner, but
I'm gonna cut you off real quick. Because I just get totally reminded me. If we can hit 500 subscribers, we want to start doing live shows too. Because I want to be more engaged with the audience. And I really kind of want to know what you guys think about, like I said, just give us constructive criticism. We want to know what you guys think of the content. If you think we're boring, we're trash, then we're boring and trash. We'll try to be more entertaining and...
We can't make everybody happy.
Right.
We're not here to make everybody happy.
And I do want to have these conversations with everybody. I do want to have open conversations about if you like gas over diesel, why? Let's talk about it. Why do you like, if you like Teslas, why do you like them over anything else? Cool, let's talk.
Well, see, and that's what I'm trying to ask is like, how do I even approach this? So,
spit it out.
I have
words I never thought I'd say.
I just have a lot of wonder as to why so many people are pro Tesla and think that they're like really saving the environment.
We're not trying to like step on everybody's toes, but we just want to know.
It's just like, I mean, you gotta dig so far into the earth. I mean, you have to dig into the earth for oil. You have to dig into the earth for a lot of things, but...
We have to drill into the earth for oil. But that's just like a 6-inch pipe compared to...
Yes, technically, yeah. My bad.
But you're giving spoilers for another video, Steph.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying... Well, maybe that can be a little hint.
The fly was right there.
No, I think that's something on your screen. Sorry. Okay, anyway.
Oh, that's a dent in the wall.
No, it's not. It's on your screen.
Made her look.
Anyway. About to get the wall patch out.
Sweet.
Anyway, I just want to know why Tesla owners, why do you guys think that the Tesla is such a better option? You know, I guess let's open up that can of worms.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, because you mine for the lithium, you know, so why is that better for the environment? To provide
and the myth is that lithium isn't recyclable, which it is to a certain point.
You know, and then like, you know, God forbid somebody in a Tesla, but it happens, you know, God forbid somebody gets, you know, caught up in the flames of a Tesla that's crashed. I mean, you have to let the lithium burn out, you know, so how is that any better for the environment? And then the generators charging your Teslas.
Which are
where do you think the power from that comes from? It's diesel. Am I wrong? Like... I want to know, you know, why does somebody think that Tesla is so much better for the environment than, like, gas or diesel? Like, I guess let's open up that can of worms.
Well, if we're not opening that can of worms, okay, then I'm also going to put into there, they're not fast, they're quick.
What's the difference? Define the difference.
There's a difference.
Define it.
Define it?
Mm-hmm.
So, she's putting me on the spot. To be quick, so how the Teslas get their power is because you're spinning an electric motor from 0 to 180,000 RPMs in an instant. That's quick. But it's also, a 5,500 pound plus missile moving at you pretty quick.
Yeah.
See, with combustion engines, gas is 6 to 8,000 RPMs depending on what it is. And they're at 3 to, well, you have 1,000 horsepower vehicles now. But, that's fast. I'll have to come up with the actual definition. She put me on the spot, and now I can't think.
Okay, well.
Whole point is, if you can spin a combustion engine 0 to 180,000 RPMs, it'd be pretty quick, too. Is that enough justification? Absolutely not, and I know that.
If we race Dot at its full potential versus Tesla, who do you think would win?
I don't know, you're talking about
Hi.
1,000 plus horse, maybe 2,000. Maybe. Doubt it, because of how old it is and how it's falling apart slowly. But she also weighs 7,000 pounds. Compared to a Tesla, that's got 6, well, depending. It might be, and guys, please let us know in the comment what it is. A Tesla Plaid, at 1,000 horse, being 5,500 horse, the Tesla's gonna beat Dot.
Is that the most that they weigh?
Depending on the Tesla. You don't get the actual weight of them. It also depends on what. Are you talking like a Model S?
But what about the truck, though? The Cybertruck?
Cybertruck?
Yeah, how much does that weigh?
I don't know. Not off the top of my head.
Cybertruck versus Dot?
That'd be an interesting one.
Yeah.
Which I don't think they look good. That's my opinion. But then again, I don't like any of the new trucks either. I think they all look the same. They all look boxy. Where's the aerodynamics, man?
Some feathers.
We're not meaning to. We're just curious. We want to
Genuinely curious. We're not trying to piss anybody off. I've never actually done that portion of research into Tesla.
Except me, with my whole fast versus quick one. Yeah, I was trying to poke fun there. And poke fun back.
And maybe there's no research. It's a matter of opinion. I don't know. What's your opinion? I don't know. Tell me.
Right. So, again, please like, comment, subscribe, and we'll just keep doing what we're doing until we get constructive criticism. Appreciate it. Everybody watches. Thank you guys if you made it this far in the video. We do appreciate y'all, and we do appreciate comments. So, yeah. I did the intro. You can do the outro.
Well, this was the Liquid Dinosaur Show. We appreciate you watching, and you have a good one.
Toodaloo, guys.